My name is Barry Boyton. I'm the director of Oddments-Theatre company. Usually our team would be taking drama to churches, schools and prisons, but like you, we're in lockdown. So for 4 locations, we've done a bit of filming for this production called Drama Church. Today's theme is in times of distress. Now a little while ago in the lockdown, there was a lot of distress about these. But I wonder what real distress is. We're going to look at the story of Horatio Sparkford. He's the hymn writer who wrote All Is Well With My Soul. And to kick off the theme, we're going to have a drama by Sydney, which is called Why.
I ran into Tom and Jean in town this morning. Jean was going on as usual about how they were spending more than they can afford. When I picked up the photos, there were some good ones. It was a good holiday. We've had some great holidays recently. Drink? Enough? Oh, and I picked up your rugby shirt while I was at it. You'll be really pleased when you see it. There's not a trace of grease left. It looks like new. Oh, and I bumped into Phil. He asked if you were doing well, and would you like to watch the match with him this afternoon? He can't come around till later, because he and the family are picking up their new, their new car. Well, anyways, he said that he could pop around at 2 unless we called to cancel, so I need to get the laundry. Why? Why me? It's not fair. It's not fair. Why? Why? Please help me. Please help me. Maybe we could go to the park and feed the ducks. I thought maybe we could take a walk and get some fresh air. What do you think? 2 Corinthians 1, verses 3 through 7. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. For the more we suffer for Christ, the more God will shower us with his comfort through Christ. Even when we are weighed down with troubles, it is for your comfort and salvation. For when we ourselves are comforted, we will certainly comfort you. Then you can patiently endure the same things we suffer. We are confident that as you share in our sufferings, you will also share in the comfort that God gives us.
Horatio Spafford was a successful Christian lawyer and welfare businessman in the late 18th century.
He had built up significant real estate investments in the windy city of Chicago.
Although prosperous, he and his wife Anna were not immune to tragedy.
In 1871, their only son contracted scarlet fever and died at the age of 4. Shortly after this, the Great Fire of 1871 swept through Chicago, destroying vast swaths of the city and literally sending much of his investments up in smoke. The impact on the family was hard, but for the next 2 years, Horatio and Anna worked amongst the refugees of the Great Fire. For some respite, they decided to travel to England for a holiday and to follow the Chicago preacher D.L. Moody as he toured England. Unfortunately, just before the sailing, Horatio had to stay behind and tie up some loose business dealings. He persuaded his wife and 4 daughters to take the voyage to England, promising that he would catch the next sailing and they'd soon be reunited. His wife and 4 children boarded the French steamship the SS Ville du Havre, sailing from New York in November of 1873.
Unknown to them, tragedy was about to descend on the family. At 2 a.m., the steamship was struck by a 3-masted iron clipper, the Loch Earn. The damage was so catastrophic that the Ville du Havre began to sink into the Atlantic Ocean. Desperate passengers tried to move lifeboats that had recently been painted and now stuck fast to the deck. Suddenly, the sound of the cracking of the ship's mast was heard as it came crashing down, crushing people to death. In minutes, the ship began to break in two. In desperation, Anna tried to cling to one of her daughters in the freezing cold water, but the turbulent waters pulled them apart. For a moment, there was hope, as Anna clung to the edge of her daughter's nightgown, only for the waters to cruelly wrench them apart forever. It is understood that the other daughters made their way to a working lifeboat, only for them to lose their grip and fall back into the cold, cruel Atlantic Ocean. In 12 minutes, the SS Ville du Havre had collapsed into the ocean. 87 survived out of 313. It was the biggest maritime tragedy of the time. Anna was rescued by the crew of the Loch Earn. She was floating unconscious on a piece of debris. Reaching England, she telegrammed Horatio, informing him that all 4 daughters were lost. He boarded a ship from New York to England.
On the way over, the captain called him up onto the deck and informed him that according to his best calculations, this was where the Ville du Havre had sunk and where his daughters were lost. Horatio returned to his cabin below deck and wrote the following hymn. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, It is well. It is well with my soul.
Lord, I cry out to you for your peace and comfort when the grief is too unbearable to put into words. Lord, you understand my pain. You experience suffering too. Your love for me is greater than anything on earth. Please help me to find rest in your love as I put my brokenness before you. Thank you that I may have peace in the fact that one day I will see you face to face and all my suffering from this world will fall away. Amen.